that seemed harmless. But just seconds later, everything suddenly turned chaotic. When the person moved too close, the horse reacted violently. Powerful kicks and sudden head thrusts made the situation dangerous in an instant. What made the horse so angry? Let's see what happened next. The man was just trying to walk past quickly, but the horse behind him clearly didn't know that. In a split second of surprise, the horse kicked, sending the man straight to the ground as everyone looked on in shock. After this, he'll probably warn a horse before walking past it. Both the driver and the two horses seemed convinced that this was their lane, so they ended up deciding to test a collision to see who was tougher. The result was pretty clear. The car stopped dead, while the two horses calmly continued their race. Perhaps the one who needed to stay calm at that moment wasn't the brown horse, but the man sitting on its back. Fortunately, after that chaotic moment, it seems no one was hurt. It seems this safari tour suddenly turned into drive-through service for some very special guests. The moment the window rolled down, a few zebras immediately stuck their heads inside as if checking the menu. Meanwhile, the two tourists could only lean back, half startled, half laughing at this overly enthusiastic food request.
Oh my God, my heart needs to go.
He's biting me! Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
No manches. No manches.
The trainer probably thought today would be just a light training session with his horse. But the horse had other plans. Within seconds, it began to lose control. In that critical moment, another man rushed in to save the trainer. Sometimes when the student loses his temper, the teacher can't run fast enough. The horse runs circles around the arena like it's competing in an unexpected marathon. After a while, it suddenly lies down, making everyone think it has finally calmed down. But no, the moment the trainer steps closer, the horse springs up like a coil, throwing him off and dragging him a few steps. This moment shows sometimes a horse's calm is just halftime. It's truly dangerous that they would come up with the bold idea of letting a child get so close to a giant lion. A moment that seemed like an ordinary horse riding practice, until the four-legged buddy suddenly decided to start a chase. The horse charged forward like an arrow, while the people in the arena ran as fast as they could. Is this training or a survival sprint? Who do you think was more scared? riding lesson was going smoothly as the students calmly guided their horses around the arena. But a sudden noise startled one horse. The rider was immediately thrown to the ground, and the rest of the horses panicked and scattered across the field. In just a few seconds, the peaceful lesson turned into a race no one signed up for. The woman was simply doing her usual job, leading a horse out of the stable. Everything seemed perfectly normal, until two horses suddenly started chasing each other down the aisle. Just as she stood right in the middle of the chaos, the white horse abruptly turned and delivered a lightning-fast kick. Fortunately, it only grazed past her, and perhaps standing between two horses having an argument isn't the best idea. A sightseeing tour that seemed perfectly calm until a car horn suddenly blared. The two horses instantly panicked, dragging the carriage forward like a runaway train with no brakes. The tourists barely understood what was happening before jumping off in panic. The peaceful tour suddenly turned into a wild adventure. Seconds, the horse launched a powerful buck, sending the cowboy flying off the saddle and crashing into the sand. But the trouble didn't stop there. The horse kept running, dragging him a few meters as the crowd gasped. Just when the tension peaked, another cowboy rode in to intervene. In rodeo, sometimes you don't just need courage, you need teammates as fast as an action movie. Never try to take food back once a horse has decided it wants it. And that kick was enough to give the elderly woman a sudden wake-up call. And sometimes the horse isn't always the winner in every confrontation, because if it runs into a crocodile, the thing that might end up crumpled like that car could be the horse's legs. Everything started normally as horse number 13 was led into the arena like a star about to make its debut. But just seconds later, the star decided to change the script. A sudden pull on the lead rope knocked the handler off balance and sent him flat onto the ground, while the horse panicked and bolted, turning the scene into chaos. It just goes to show, when working with animals several times your size, sometimes you're the one being taken for a walk. Sometimes on roads that pass through wildlife reserves, you're not the one who decides the right of way. While the driver is still figuring out how to move forward, a massive elephant steps out and brings everything to a halt in an instant. Because here, the rule is simple. If the elephant wants to go, you'd better give way. The morning dog walk seemed pretty chill until a giant elk appeared in the yard. Just seconds later, it charged forward as if chasing away uninvited guests. The two people ran for their lives while the camera captured the whole tense yet slightly hilarious chase. Encounters with wild animals always carry unpredictable risks. With just one unexpected movement, they can shift from calm to aggressive, leaving humans at a disadvantage and forced to back away or leave the area to stay safe. In nature, there is no concept of good or evil, only survival. A turtle doesn't attack because it wants to, but because it has to. And sometimes the biggest mistake isn't standing too close, but believing you truly understand what you're facing. A zebra suddenly escaped from a zoo in South Korea and started a city tour through a residential neighborhood. People looked out their windows thinking they were dreaming when they saw a zebra strolling down the street. Meanwhile, the zebra calmly explored every alley as if it had wandered into a reverse safari. As the man stepped out of the vehicle, a brown bear suddenly approached, seemingly trying to climb onto the hood. Panicked, he quickly got back inside. At that point, staying still and waiting for it to leave was clearly the safest option. A peaceful afternoon in the horse stable, until a giant bull elk walked up like it was looking for a challenge. It lowered its head and scraped the ground in provocation. The horse in the pen refused to back down, standing face to face in tense silence. Spectators held their breath as the two fighters seemed to argue over who really owned the arena. In the quiet forest, two brown bears suddenly charge at each other like heavyweight fighters, swinging their paws, growling and spinning with raw power, a clash that feels both tense and like a loud, chaotic wrestling match. Encounters with wild animals always carry unpredictable risks. With just one unexpected movement, they can shift from calm to aggressive, leaving humans at a disadvantage and forced to back away or leave the area to stay safe. Two dogs stood blocking the path as if holding a strategy meeting, while a mountain lion approached cautiously. The tension was thick in the air, yet it was also a bit amusing because neither side was willing to back down. One side was perhaps overly brave, while the other clearly wasn't easy to intimidate. The safari trip was supposed to be just about watching zebras from a distance, but this zebra walked right up to the car, pressing its nose against the window like it was inspecting the passengers. Everyone inside held their breath. It seems today, the tourists were the ones being observed. Animals, no matter how familiar they may seem, still have their own wild instincts. Just one small action can make everything spiral out of control. Who do you think was at fault in this situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow the channel for more unbelievable moments from the animal world.